Thanks for staying with us here on The Real Story. We've been talking about the Republican National Convention and have some exclusive insight from Connecticut's delegation there in Milwaukee. If one thing is clear, this is a different Republican Party, and after that Butler County, Pennsylvania assassination attempt grabbed America's attention, this may be the first time most of the nation has seen what the future of the GOP platform could look like. But now the country is looking to Chicago to see how the DNC will get back on track with its messaging and its incumbent president. Some young Democrats I've spoken to have joined the calls coming from big names on Capitol Hill, saying it might be best for President Biden to step aside. But for the most part, Connecticut's Democrats are sticking by him, saying you don't need to look further than Connecticut's many federally funded projects to know this administration delivers. And while we're talking a lot about the race for the White House and the party's national conventions, there's a real focus on the down ballot this year, too, with the Democrats shaping up a race to possibly reclaim the House. Republicans are keeping their eyes set on getting a majority in the Senate, both with thin holds just a few seats could severely change Congress this election. So here's your reminder. Connecticut's next statewide election is August 13th. If you're going to be away, say for summer vacation, the time to get your absentee ballot is now. Our Connecticut delegation is up for re-election. Senator Chris Murphy and all 5 district representatives. They are automatically on the ballot in November. No contest within their own party. They've all secured the nomination once again. August 13th, it'll be decided who's taking on some of these incumbents who have spent years in their seats. So let's take a look at some of the biggest Republican races shaping up. August votes will decide who takes on Senator Chris Murphy in November. He's kept the Senate seat blue since 2013. Now Beacon Falls First Selectman Jerry Smith will be on the ballot, receiving the early party nomination. He's competing with Matthew Corey, though, a Manchester businessman who's qualified for a primary. Corey is a longtime conservative candidate who's been harping on business-friendly representation in Congress. He owns local companies and is a former Teamster. Smith has highlighted immigration enforcement and the opioid crisis as some of the issues he's focused on, along with driving down energy costs. And in the southwestern corner of Connecticut, Republican voters in the 4th Congressional District will be choosing between these 2 candidates, Greenwich's Michael Goldstein and Fairfield's Bob McGuffey. They're challenging incumbent U.S. Representative Jim Himes. Representative Himes has been in office since 2009 and has made a name for himself on Capitol Hill in foreign affairs, U.S. intelligence, and financial policy. As far as the Republican contest, Goldstein is a doctor and lawyer running as a, quote, physician with a vision. He's focused mostly on healthcare policy and costs. McGuffey is the leader of Connecticut's Tea Party, a conservative activist and self-published author. He wants to cut down on spending and national debt. He says he's against Representative Himes' vote for foreign aid. Some really interesting races to keep an eye on here, especially as they start getting more into their platforms and proposals. Again, Senator Chris Murphy and all 5 U.S. House Democrats have avoided primary challenges this year. Senator Richard Blumenthal is not up for re-election until 2028. But those state-level races are crowded and important come August 13th. A lot of representation could change and even potentially flip parties. There will be 15 Democratic primaries and 2 Republican between State House and Senate, so be sure to check to see if your town has a primary contest. And that big Tuesday in November, the general election will decide the next president of the United States, while potentially changing our Capitol Hill representation as well, and sending several new people to the state capitol here in Hartford. We, of course, have all of your primary details, voter registration information, and constant political coverage as things change, all for you on Fox61.com. That does it for us here now on The Real Story this morning, though. If you want to watch this segment again or follow our conversations with leaders and delegates, you can head to our website, Fox61.com, or download the free Fox 61 News app and watch The Real Story every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox 61 or streaming on Fox 61 Plus. Have a great morning.